A strategy better than silence. Silence is just the beginning. Stoic philosophy. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Today, I'm sharing a strategy that's even more powerful than silence itself, a strategy that unlocks the true potential of Stoic wisdom. Silence may be the beginning, but what comes next? Modern Stoicism teaches us that true mastery of the self requires more than just quiet moments. It demands thoughtful action and conscious reflection. In our chaotic, fast-paced world, where we're constantly bombarded by distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters. That's where Stoic secrets come in. Silence is vital for clarity, but it's the mindful use of that clarity that leads to emotional resilience, rational decisions, and lasting peace. It's about stripping away the noise, both internal and external, and learning how to move through life with purpose and composure. But here's the catch. Silence alone won't get you there. You have to act, think, and live according to your highest principles. So, are you ready to take the next step? Let's dive deeper into how you can go beyond silence to truly master your life. The importance of self-control in Stoic philosophy. Number 1. The power of silence and self-reflection. Imagine yourself in a moment of complete silence. In this stillness, you have the opportunity to reflect deeply on your thoughts, your actions, and how you respond to the world around you. You might think of this as just a pause, but it is so much more. This silence, in its purest form, is a powerful tool that leads to profound self-awareness. In the fast pace of modern life, we rarely allow ourselves the luxury of quiet reflection. But in Stoicism, we're encouraged to do just that. Silence is where real growth begins. It gives you the space to observe your inner world without judgment, free from the noise of external opinions and distractions. You see, when we experience something like anger or frustration, our first instinct might be to lash out or react impulsively. But what if in that exact moment we chose to remain silent? What if we paused, allowed ourselves to breathe, and only then responded thoughtfully? By practicing this kind of mindful silence, you give yourself a chance to make better decisions, to navigate your emotions more effectively, and to grow emotionally intelligent. This is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, not to eliminate emotions, but to control them. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you step back and reflect before reacting, you begin to embrace your own power, gaining control over your responses, and shaping a more composed version of yourself. The key here is that silence isn't just about not speaking. It's about creating space between what happens to you and how you respond. The goal is not to stay silent forever, but to give yourself the time to choose your words and actions with care. As you continue this practice, you'll notice a shift. You'll start to act with intention, respond with clarity, and grow in ways you never thought possible. In this modern world, where we are often urged to respond immediately, the Stoic principle of silence gives us the strength to pause. Through silence, you can discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. You learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them, which is a core tenet of modern Stoicism. The more you reflect, the more you begin to accept things you cannot change, focusing your energy on improving what you can. This practice doesn't just make you more patient, it sharpens your entire approach to life. When you think about it, silence offers a kind of wisdom that modern life often overlooks. It isn't just about being quiet. It's about tuning in to your inner self, becoming aware of your reactions, and gaining the clarity needed to move forward. Have you ever thought about how much peace might lie in simply stepping back and allowing yourself a moment to reflect before making a decision? The practice of silence is powerful, but remember, it's just the beginning. It opens the door to greater self-awareness and emotional intelligence. From there, You can begin to make more thoughtful decisions, respond to challenges with composure, and approach life with a stoic mindset, where your power lies not in controlling everything around you, but in mastering yourself. So, what's holding you back from embracing silence as a way to grow and evolve? Perhaps, like me, you'll find that in the quiet, you discover more about yourself than you ever expected. Number 2. Embracing discomfort for growth. In the quiet of silence, you'll discover something essential to Stoic philosophy, an invitation to embrace discomfort as a pathway to growth. The Stoics, particularly thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, taught that our strength is forged in the fires of adversity, and that discomfort is often the crucible where we become our best selves. Silence, in this context, is more than a mere absence of noise. It is the space where we confront discomfort without the usual distractions or the temptation to escape. When we face challenges, whether they be physical, emotional, or mental, silence grants us the opportunity to sit with our discomfort instead of running from it. Think about those stressful moments at work or in personal life, where everything seems overwhelming. It's easy to react impulsively, whether it's lashing out in frustration, seeking a quick escape, or obsessing over solutions. But silence offers us a better way. When you're facing discomfort, silence doesn't mean passivity. It's a way of being present, of allowing yourself to feel the weight of the moment without immediately looking for relief. It's about pausing, observing your internal reactions, and creating the mental space to respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. When you embrace discomfort in silence, you are no longer controlled by the external noise of the world or the immediate urge to fix everything. Instead, you develop a capacity to remain centered, calm, and focused, no matter how chaotic the situation becomes. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This rings true when we think about discomfort. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a personal loss, or the pressure of a tight deadline, these are moments when silence, far from being a passive retreat, becomes a powerful tool for resilience. By sitting with discomfort, we allow ourselves the space to reflect, to understand the root of our emotions, and to choose a response that aligns with our values rather than our immediate impulses. In our modern lives, we are constantly bombarded with distractions, emails, notifications, and an endless stream of demands. But the Stoic secret is this: it is in moments of stillness, when we allow discomfort to exist without running from it, that we truly develop inner strength. This ability to endure discomfort without seeking relief or avoiding it is at the heart of Stoic practice. It's not about seeking out hardship for the sake of hardship, but rather about reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. Imagine the strength it takes to handle a personal setback, whether it's a failed project or a strained relationship, without falling into despair or impulsive reactions. In those moments, embracing the discomfort of the situation, rather than fleeing from it, allows you to grow stronger. The discomfort itself becomes the training ground for resilience. And that is the core of Stoic practice: to face life's challenges with courage and composure, knowing that each trial is a chance to fortify your character. This is one of the most potent Stoic secrets. Silence, when embraced in moments of discomfort, transforms hardship into growth. So, when discomfort arises, whether it's a tough conversation, a personal challenge, or just the stresses of daily life, remember, you don't have to run from it. Sit with it. Allow the silence to reveal your inner strength. In this quiet space, you'll find the resilience to respond thoughtfully, the wisdom to understand the situation, and the courage to endure. Every uncomfortable moment is an opportunity to become stronger, to cultivate a mind that is unshaken by the ups and downs of life. By embracing this Stoic mindset, you unlock a deeper sense of peace and strength within yourself. We want to hear from you. How do you approach discomfort in your life? Do you lean into it like the Stoics, or is it something you tend to avoid? Drop a comment below with, "I welcome discomfort," if you believe in the power of embracing challenges for growth. Your thoughts help us build a community of like-minded individuals who support each other in the journey of personal development. By sharing your experiences and insights, you contribute to fostering a space where we all can learn, grow, and cultivate resilience together. So, don't hesitate. Share your reflections, and let's strengthen this Stoic journey as a community. Number 3. Cultivating emotional control. In our fast-paced world where emotions often seem to dominate our actions, the idea of cultivating emotional control is more vital than ever. The Stoics, those wise practitioners of ancient philosophy, knew that emotions, though an undeniable part of the human experience, should not govern our behavior. They believed that silence, especially in moments of emotional turmoil, was not simply a pause but a powerful tool for achieving inner calm and clarity. Modern Stoicism, as we know, isn't about suppressing our feelings, but about responding to them with reason and purpose. Think about it. When you're confronted with a sudden surge of anger, fear, or frustration, what's your first instinct? Most of us want to act impulsively, lashing out or withdrawing in a way that often leaves us feeling regretful. But silence, taking a moment to stop, breathe, and reflect, gives us a chance to recalibrate. It allows us to ask ourselves, why do I feel this way? Is this reaction justified, or is it simply a fleeting surge of emotion? The beauty of this practice is that it gives us the power to respond rather than react. The Stoics recognized that our thoughts and actions are within our control, and in moments of intense emotion, silence serves as a safeguard against rash decisions. In fact, the great Roman Stoic Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that." This profound insight reminds us that when faced with negative emotions, choosing silence and reflection over hasty reactions elevates us above the chaos, allowing us to act in alignment with our true values. Take, for example, a difficult conversation at work. It might be tempting to immediately respond with sharp words when a colleague says something that triggers your frustration. But silence, even if just for a moment, creates the space to consider the situation with more objectivity. In that quiet pause, you can assess the validity of your emotions and choose to respond thoughtfully, rather than impulsively. This practice is an exercise in emotional discipline, and it leads to more productive, respectful interactions, qualities that align perfectly with modern Stoicism. It's not about stifling your feelings, it's about not allowing them to control you. By practicing silence in these critical moments, we unlock the ability to reflect before reacting. The Stoics taught that virtue comes from wisdom, and wisdom often requires the ability to listen, not just to others, but to our own thoughts and emotions. A silent moment of reflection enables us to separate ourselves from the immediate surge of emotion, so we can think with clarity and composure. As the Stoic Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This is the essence of cultivating emotional control. Silence, in essence, is not a sign of weakness, but a reflection of strength, a conscious decision to step back and choose our response, rather than be swept away by the tide of our emotions. In today's world, where instant reactions are often glorified, the practice of emotional restraint through silence is a revolutionary act of self-mastery. Imagine the impact of a life lived with this discipline. Fewer regrets, more meaningful relationships, and decisions made from a place of calm reason rather than chaotic impulse. Incorporating this practice into modern life means adopting a strategy of emotional resilience, where we harness our inner peace to navigate the challenges we face daily. By allowing ourselves the space to pause and reflect, we develop the kind of emotional intelligence that enables us to respond with wisdom and clarity. And just as the Stoics believed, by mastering our emotions, we can live in alignment with nature, fulfilling our potential as rational, thoughtful beings. In the end, the silence is only the beginning, a step toward achieving a life of greater control, peace, and fulfillment, rooted in the timeless teachings of modern Stoicism. Number 4. Transforming silence into action. Silence, while powerful, is just the beginning of mastering the Stoic way of life. Many people mistakenly believe silence is the ultimate goal, but the true power of Stoicism lies in how we use that silence. Silence offers space for reflection and insight into our thoughts and the world around us. However, these insights are only valuable if they lead to meaningful action. This is a crucial Stoic secret often overlooked. Silence is a foundation, not a destination. How many times have you reflected deeply on what matters only to leave that moment unchanged in your actions? In a world that pushes us to react quickly, the Stoics remind us that it's not enough to pause. We must act, guided by the clarity we've gained in those quiet moments. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. He didn't just sit in contemplation about the Roman Empire. He reflected deeply and then used those reflections to lead with wisdom and justice. His silence didn't end with thought. It sparked purposeful action. This is the essence of Stoicism. Once you gain clarity in silence, it's time to act with purpose. Silence is a tool that helps us connect with our values and understand the world. But true Stoic mastery comes when we act with integrity, especially when it's difficult. It's in challenging moments, when the temptation to react impulsively arises, that the true power of silence becomes clear. Imagine a scenario at work where a colleague makes an error that could cause harm. In the past, you might have stayed silent to avoid conflict or reacted rashly without thinking of the long-term consequences. But after reflecting in silence, you realize that the best course of action is to speak honestly, offer a solution, and act according to your values. In that moment, silence has done its work. It has revealed what's truly important, and now you're ready to act on it. So, what is silence showing you about your nature and purpose? Are you willing to listen to its lessons and, more importantly, act on them? Silence is not the end. It's the start of your journey. It's easy to think that simply reflecting is enough, but what matters is the action you take afterward. Insight without action is like a seed that never grows. Once you've clarified your values in silence, it's time to act with them in mind. Epictetus provides another example. He wasn't just a philosopher who sat in silence. He used his time in captivity to reflect deeply on what mattered: his inner freedom, peace of mind, and integrity. He then acted on those insights, living according to them no matter the circumstances. The key lesson is that silence isn't an escape from the world. It's a starting point for action. It clears your mind, but your actions shape your destiny. Every moment of reflection is an opportunity to align your actions with your highest values. So when you find yourself in quiet moments, don't let them pass by without using them to understand yourself better, and then take purposeful action. What will your next action be? Is it aligned with the values you've reflected on? Remember, Stoic secrets aren't just about knowing what's right. They're about doing what's right. As we've explored in Part A, self-control stands as one of the fundamental pillars of Stoic philosophy. Silence is not just a state of being, but a powerful tool for self-reflection, overcoming challenges, and emotional maturity. To go further in applying this philosophy to our lives, we need to dive deeper into the Stoic path of mastering ourselves in life, maintaining tranquility no matter the circumstance. The Stoic path to mastery over self and life. In Part B, we'll explore the specific steps that will make you more resilient in life, as well as the ways to conquer anxiety and truly master yourself. Let's dive into each key principle that helps build resilience, focus on what we can control, and live in alignment with our core values. Number 1. Cultivating inner resilience. Imagine for a moment you're caught in the middle of a storm. The wind is fierce, the rain is relentless, and everything around you feels like it's falling apart. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, isn't it? But here's the Stoic wisdom. While you can't control the storm, you can control how you respond to it. This is the core of modern Stoicism: resilience. Resilience isn't a trait you're born with. It's something you build through intentional practice. The Stoics didn't view resilience as passive. Rather, it's an active process of training your mind to endure and grow no matter the circumstances. When facing challenges, the natural instinct is often to retreat or go silent, hoping the discomfort will pass. But sometimes, silence can leave us stuck, unable to move forward. What if, instead of avoiding the hardship, you decided to face it with clarity and strength? The Stoics taught that accepting hardship as a part of life shifts our focus from what's beyond our control to what we can control: our response. Take a moment to reflect. When a setback happens, be it a personal loss, a career change, or a financial crisis, the Stoic response is not to react with anger or despair. It's about accepting the situation as it is and moving forward with a calm, rational mind. For example, losing a job can be devastating, but what if, instead of spiraling into panic, you simply accepted the loss and began to look for new opportunities with a clear mind? This approach is the foundation of resilience. Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed impossible at first, only to find that it was an opportunity for growth? The Stoics believed that adversity is a powerful teacher. By embracing discomfort and practicing mindfulness, we learn to strengthen our character and grow through hardship. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is what modern Stoicism is all about: training the mind to stay calm and focused no matter the chaos around us. This isn't about becoming emotionless or detached. Emotions are part of being human, and the Stoics didn't deny that. However, they believed that emotions shouldn't control us, especially in times of stress. The true practice of resilience is to acknowledge your feelings but not let them cloud your judgment. It's about maintaining a composed mind that can think clearly, adapt, and respond thoughtfully. Resilience is not about avoiding pain. It's about facing it with courage and moving forward with purpose. Life can be overwhelming at times, and it's natural to feel challenged. But what if, instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you viewed them as opportunities for growth? If you could learn to embrace discomfort and push through adversity, how much stronger would you become? How much more equipped would you be to handle life's uncertainties with a steady heart and sharp mind? I want to ask you this. What would it take for you to start building your resilience? Would it mean stepping into discomfort or changing the way you see challenges? Remember, resilience isn't the absence of struggle. It's the ability to grow through it. In today's fast-paced world, there's no better time to start cultivating this inner strength. Through practice, mindfulness, and a focus on what you can control, you'll find that silence is just the beginning. True resilience lies in how you choose to act, think, and feel during adversity. It's about finding your calm in the storm and using that calm to push forward. So what will you choose today? Will you embrace resilience and face your challenges with purpose? Or will you let the storm take control of your peace? The choice is yours, and just like the Stoics, I believe, your response will shape the life you lead. Number 2, practicing acceptance of what you cannot control. In Stoic philosophy, one of the most important lessons is learning to accept what we cannot control. This simple yet powerful concept is key to finding peace of mind and living with purpose. The Stoics believe that much of our suffering arises from trying to control things that lie beyond our influence. They teach that we should focus on what we can control, our own actions, reactions, and mindset, while letting go of the need to control external events. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This reflects the Stoic belief that true freedom comes from accepting the limits of our power and desires. In life, we all face difficult people and situations that seem beyond our control. Instead of expending energy trying to change them, Stoicism encourages us to accept them as they are, focusing on how we respond instead. By letting go of the need to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and frustration. Modern life presents countless opportunities to practice this Stoic acceptance, whether it's dealing with a challenging coworker, navigating traffic, or facing unexpected problems. We cannot control how others behave or change external circumstances, but we can control how we respond. The Stoic secret lies in focusing on our actions, allowing us to navigate life's challenges without being overwhelmed by them. In a world where we often try to control every outcome, embracing Stoic acceptance becomes a powerful source of strength. Life is like a river. We can't stop its flow, but we can choose to float with it. Trying to fight against the current will only wear us out, while accepting the flow allows us to move with it. The Stoic mindset teaches us that everything is temporary and ever-changing, from people's attitudes to world events. By shifting our focus from trying to control everything to accepting what we cannot change, we preserve our inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This encapsulates the Stoic idea that obstacles are not to be resisted, but used as opportunities for growth. By focusing on our responses rather than external events, we transform challenges into stepping stones for personal development. Stoic acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means redirecting our energy toward what truly matters. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable, we free ourselves from frustration and stress. Rather than burdening ourselves with the impossible task of changing others or the world around us, we shift our focus inward. Accepting things as they are doesn't make us complacent. It empowers us to act with greater clarity, wisdom, and purpose. The more we let go of trying to control external events, the more control we gain over ourselves. In today's world, where distractions and pressures are constant, focusing on what we can control has never been more important. The modern pace of life can make us feel like we must always react to the chaos around us. But Stoicism teaches that the real power comes from not being swept away by this chaos. When we accept what we cannot control, we open up space for peace and clear, purposeful action. Practicing Stoic acceptance makes life feel less overwhelming, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. This mental shift is vital in our fast-paced world, where stress can easily take over. The Stoic secret remains timeless. By letting go of the uncontrollable, we gain mastery over ourselves and unlock a deeper sense of inner peace. Number 3. Fostering a growth mindset through Stoic practices. A growth mindset is at the core of personal development, and modern Stoicism offers a powerful way to cultivate this mindset. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, recognized that life's challenges, whether seen as successes or failures, are opportunities for growth. They believed setbacks, mistakes, and suffering are essential for developing virtues like patience, wisdom, and perseverance. Instead of being discouraged by adversity, we can view it as a chance to improve ourselves and build mental and emotional strength. Every failure isn't a sign of defeat, but an invitation to reflect, learn, and grow. Much like how a sculptor reveals a masterpiece by chipping away at stone. When you make a mistake or fall short, it's easy to feel defeated. But with the Stoic mindset, failure doesn't define you, it refines you. Take a step back and reflect. What went wrong? What lessons can you learn? How can you use this experience to improve next time? This process of reflection fosters growth, and Stoic practices, like journaling and meditation, help reinforce this mindset. Writing about your thoughts and experiences allows you to process them and identify areas for improvement. As Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. By embracing challenges, you're not just enduring them, but using them as stepping stones to build mental resilience. Modern Stoicism encourages focusing not on fleeting successes or failures, but on long-term development. It's about consistency and staying committed to self-improvement, regardless of immediate results. By doing so, we avoid becoming distracted by short-term setbacks and stay focused on the bigger picture. Growth is less about achieving perfection and more about making progress. Every setback offers new knowledge and wisdom, preparing you for future challenges. This approach keeps you from becoming complacent during success and reminds you that growth is a continuous process. In today's world, where success is often equated with quick wins and external validation, the Stoic path offers a refreshing alternative. We live in an age of instant gratification, but true growth takes time and reflection. The Stoics taught that growth is slow and deliberate, grounded in self-awareness. Rather than constantly chasing after traditional success, we shift our focus to becoming better in a deeper sense, growing in wisdom, virtue, and resilience. Stoicism isn't just about enduring challenges silently. It's about using that silence for reflection and transformation. It's a strategy that turns obstacles into opportunities, encouraging you to learn from every experience. By applying Stoic practices, you create a path of continuous self-improvement, unaffected by the distractions of the external world. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So instead of avoiding challenges, embrace them as chances to grow wiser and stronger. True growth isn't about avoiding difficulties, but facing them with a reflective mindset and a willingness to learn. Number 4, taking responsibility for your actions. In the world of Stoic philosophy, there's a powerful concept that holds the key to emotional freedom and growth: taking responsibility for your actions. It's something that, once understood, can change the way you approach every single aspect of life. The Stoics believed that personal responsibility isn't just important, it's absolutely essential for moral and personal development. When we start to see that we have the power to choose our responses to any situation, we break free from the chains of blame and victimhood. I want you to think about that for a moment. You have the power to control how you react, no matter what the world throws at you. So if someone insults you or wrongs you in some way, it's easy to blame them for how you feel, isn't it? But in Stoicism, we take a different approach. Instead of reacting from a place of anger or hurt, we take a step back and ask ourselves, how do I choose to respond? This shift in mindset doesn't mean that you ignore your emotions or pretend everything's fine when it's not. It simply means that you refuse to let anyone else dictate your peace. You choose to remain in control. You might be thinking, but what if the other person really is wrong? Here's the thing. We can't control others, but we always have control over how we choose to deal with what they do. By practicing this responsibility, we free ourselves from the cycle of blame and resentment, and instead, we act with integrity. You no longer become a passive player in life. You become an active participant in your own growth. Let me tell you a modern story to illustrate this. Think of a successful entrepreneur you admire, someone who has overcome numerous obstacles to reach the top. They're not there because life has been easy or because they've never faced difficulties. They're there because at every turn they chose to take responsibility for their actions. If a product failed, they didn't blame the market or the competition. Instead, they learned from their mistakes and adjusted. They didn't allow circumstances or other people to control their emotions or decisions. This kind of resilience is exactly what the Stoic teachings emphasize. And it's a powerful lesson for you too. When you take responsibility for your actions, you create a space for trust, respect, and growth, not only with others but with yourself. It's like laying a foundation for a house. If you build on shaky ground, everything will crumble. But when you act with integrity, when you own your choices, you build something solid that can withstand life's storms. And this is one of the Stoic secrets, the idea that our peace and progress are not dependent on external forces, but on how we respond to them. This leads to emotional maturity and self-respect. So how can you begin incorporating this practice into your life? Ask yourself the next time you face a challenge, how will you choose to react? Will you embrace responsibility, or will you let circumstances control you? Remember, you hold the power, and when you start to embrace that power, you begin to unlock the full potential of your own character. So let's make the commitment to ourselves today. We will choose to take responsibility, no matter the situation, no matter the challenges. When we do that, we free ourselves to be the best version of who we are meant to be. Taking responsibility isn't just about avoiding blame, it's about claiming the power to change our lives from the inside out. And that, my friend, is one of the most liberating practices you can embrace. You've just taken a powerful step toward mastering yourself. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment with the phrase, "I choose responsibility," to let us know that you're committing to take control of your reactions and embrace this Stoic mindset. Reflect on how taking responsibility can transform your responses, and remember, it's not about perfection, but about progress. Keep following along. The process of your transformation is unfolding right before your eyes. Number 5. Living in harmony with nature. Imagine for a moment that you could accept every part of life, both the beautiful and the painful, with grace. How much peace would that bring you? This is one of the core teachings of Stoicism. Living in harmony with nature. It's not just about being mindful of the environment around you. It's about recognizing your place in the vastness of the universe and understanding that you are an interconnected part of something far greater than yourself. Nature, in its most profound sense, includes the natural cycles of life, death, and everything in between. Change is inevitable. It's a part of the natural flow of existence, and resisting it only brings suffering. The Stoics believed that the key to a fulfilled life is accepting the things we cannot change, whether that's the changing seasons, the aging of our bodies, or the eventual passing of loved ones. The natural world doesn't bend to our will, and neither do the events in our lives. So how do we respond? Instead of fighting against what is inevitable, we learn to flow with it. In modern Stoicism, this means acknowledging the reality of life's transience without clinging to it or letting it destroy us. Take the example of losing someone you love. It's natural to feel grief, but the Stoic way teaches us not to fall into despair or anger. Death, however painful, is part of the natural order. As Marcus Aurelius so wisely said, "Death smiles at us all we can do is smile back." It's not about becoming cold or indifferent to loss, but about accepting it with dignity and peace, knowing that it's a part of the cycle of life that we all must eventually face. In this way, we honor those we've lost by living in alignment with the reality of the world around us, accepting change and impermanence without resentment. Now, I want you to think for a moment. How often do you find yourself resisting the natural course of life? Do you ever feel frustrated with the things you can't control, like the aging process, the unpredictability of relationships, or the unforeseen events that seem to derail your plans? We all do. But what if, instead of fighting these things, we welcomed them with a sense of acceptance? What if we recognized that every experience, every challenge, and every setback is a moment to grow and adapt? This doesn't mean we become passive or detached from the world, but rather that we learn to accept what we cannot control and focus our energy on how we respond. Think about the last difficult situation you encountered. Did you resist it, or did you take a step back and find a way to move through it with peace? Living in harmony with nature is about aligning yourself with the rhythms of the world, recognizing that the highs and lows are part of the same journey. When we do this, we no longer feel defeated by life's inevitable changes. Instead, we find the strength to rise above them, to meet life on its terms, and to live in peace with its natural flow. I challenge you to reflect on this. What part of nature's flow are you resisting right now? How can you make peace with the things you cannot? Change and embrace the natural cycles of life. In modern Stoicism, this practice of acceptance and alignment with nature is not just a passive philosophy. It's an active choice, one that can bring you greater peace, clarity, and strength. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, remember that it's just part of the natural order. Embrace it, accept it, and use it as an opportunity to grow. Number 6. The Stoic focus on virtue and character. For the Stoics, the key to living a fulfilling life lies in cultivating virtue, which they considered the ultimate goal. Virtue is not just a moral ideal, it's the foundation of a well-lived life. While society often prizes wealth, fame, and success, the Stoics taught that true happiness comes from aligning our actions with reason and virtue. In their view, virtue is the harmony between our actions and reason, and through this alignment we achieve a steady, lasting happiness that external achievements can't provide. Worldly success is fleeting, and no matter what challenges or losses we face, the Stoics remind us that if we live virtuously, we remain true to what truly matters. Living virtuously means making choices based on wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about doing what is right in every situation, not what feels easy or promises instant gratification. Whether standing firm in adversity, acting with integrity when no one's watching, or keeping your composure when provoked, the Stoic mindset teaches that while we can't control external events, we can always control our character. This doesn't seem as flashy as chasing fame or wealth, but it's what truly defines our lives. For instance, when faced with temptation, the Stoic choice isn't to give in to immediate pleasure, but to choose actions that align with deeper virtues. Rather than acting impulsively, we choose wisdom and temperance. In doing so, we strengthen our character and build resilience. Virtue, not external rewards, becomes the true measure of a well-lived life. Stoic virtue isn't about perfection. It's about making small improvements and consistently aligning actions with our highest values. Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This captures the essence of Stoic thought. Freedom is not about controlling the world around us, but mastering ourselves. In a world where success is often defined by what we acquire or how we compare to others, focusing on virtue and character offers a powerful shift in perspective. In everyday life, we're constantly faced with choices that test our character, whether it's cutting corners at work, responding in anger during an argument, or indulging in something that distracts us from our values. The Stoic approach teaches us to pause and reflect. What choice aligns with my virtues? What builds my character? By consistently choosing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we transform our lives into ones of steadiness and integrity. The Stoic secret is simple yet profound. Our true strength lies in our character. External success may bring temporary satisfaction, but it is virtue that brings lasting peace and fulfillment. By focusing on this, we not only lead better lives, but inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple of integrity in the world. The principles we've discussed in Part B give us a clearer understanding of the Stoic path and how we can apply them to overcome life's obstacles. However, to truly turn these philosophies into action, we need a more tangible, practical approach. This will be covered in Part C, where I'll show you how to apply Stoic wisdom in real life, from self-discipline to living with purpose. Turning Stoic wisdom into action. If you're ready to turn Stoic philosophy into action, don't miss the next part. We'll explore specific strategies to make Stoic wisdom a daily habit and guide you toward living not just with calmness, but with meaning and purpose. Let's continue this journey together in Part C. Number 1. The power of self-discipline. Self-discipline is essential to leading a purposeful and fulfilled life, and the Stoics deeply understood this. They believed that true freedom comes not from external achievements, but from mastering ourselves. In today's world, where distractions and temptations are constant, it's easy to forget that our most important battles happen within. Modern Stoicism teaches that self-discipline is the foundation of personal virtue and emotional resilience. It's about controlling our impulses, resisting fleeting desires, and focusing on what truly matters. This doesn't mean just saying no to distractions, but saying yes to living intentionally and staying aligned with our core values. As Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This captures the essence of self-discipline. It's about governing our actions, reactions, and thoughts, so we are not slaves to our impulses. Consider the daily temptations you face: procrastination, unhealthy habits, or avoiding tough conversations. These may seem small, but over time, they erode our character and undermine our long-term goals. The Stoic view on self-discipline reminds us that resisting these temptations is not about deprivation. It's a way of affirming our commitment to a higher purpose. By practicing moderation, we make room for personal growth and lasting contentment. Success and happiness aren't tied to external validation, but to our ability to stay in control, regardless of external distractions. Take a moment to reflect on your habits, routines, and decisions. Are they aligned with your values? True growth requires consistent self-discipline even when it's uncomfortable. Whether it's sticking to an exercise routine or dedicating time to learning and self-improvement, these small, consistent actions are powerful statements of intent. They show you're in control of your life, resisting fleeting pleasures for long-term well-being. Self-discipline isn't about perfection, but consistency. You don't need to be flawless, but it's important to show up each day with purpose and integrity. As Seneca put it, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. A lot of the struggle around self-discipline comes from our mental resistance. We fear the effort it will take and become discouraged before we even begin. But when we understand that true freedom comes from controlling our thoughts and actions, we see that self-discipline is not a burden. It's the key to unlocking the life we desire. Modern Stoicism provides a practical framework for this kind of self-mastery. The Stoics didn't wait for life to change. They understood that real transformation begins within. Through consistent practice, whether it's resisting unhealthy habits or focusing on long-term self-improvement, we shape our character and strengthen our inner resolve. The journey may not always be easy, but every step toward greater self-discipline is a step toward a more meaningful life. Self-discipline isn't about external achievements or the opinions of others, but about making deliberate choices aligned with our highest values. As you navigate the complexities of modern life, remember that the path to self-mastery is ongoing, with each moment offering the chance to strengthen your resolve and deepen your commitment to creating the life you truly. Number 2. Living with purpose and intention. Living with purpose and intention is at the core of Stoic philosophy, and it can truly change the way you approach life. How often do you find yourself just reacting to whatever comes your way without thinking about what you really want in the long term? In today's world, it's easy to let external events pull you in all directions, but Stoicism teaches us to take control of our actions and live in alignment with our values. By reflecting on what matters most to you, whether it's your relationships, career, health, or personal growth, you can start making decisions that reflect your deeper purpose rather than just reacting to life's challenges. Think back to those times when you acted impulsively, only to regret it later. When you live with purpose, every decision brings you closer to your ideal life, instead of merely responding to the world around you. Let me share a story. I once knew someone in a high-pressure job, constantly chasing success and deadlines. On the surface, they had it all: money, recognition, and the lifestyle to match. But deep down, they felt disconnected from what truly mattered. After spending some time in reflection, they realized their purpose wasn't about more achievements. It was about spending quality time with family and giving back to their community. This realization led them to make bold changes. They cut back on work hours, started volunteering, and focused on building stronger relationships. Their life shifted dramatically, but it brought them a deep sense of fulfillment. By living intentionally, they aligned their actions with their values and found a more meaningful path. What about you? Have you taken the time to reflect on what truly matters? Are your actions in line with your deepest values? Stoic secrets aren't just about avoiding suffering or remaining silent. They're about living intentionally. When you live with purpose, you stop letting life happen to you and start shaping your future by making choices that reflect who you truly want to be. This takes ongoing self-reflection and a commitment to live according to your highest ideals, even when it's difficult. For instance, if your purpose is to serve others, you might choose to volunteer or donate your time instead of getting distracted by things that don't align with your mission. When you act in accordance with your core values, your life becomes more meaningful, and you feel a sense of fulfillment with each step you take. Living intentionally isn't always easy, though. Life is unpredictable, and outside pressures can push you off track. But the key is to keep coming back to your values, remembering what matters most, and allowing them to guide you through challenges. It's in those difficult moments that living intentionally can make the biggest difference. When temptations or distractions arise, your commitment to acting with purpose will help you stay on course. So, ask yourself, what drives me? What values do I want my life to reflect? By living with intention, you're not just making decisions that align with your purpose, you're also creating a richer, more fulfilling life. Living intentionally is one of the most powerful Stoic secrets you can embrace. As you reflect on this, think about how your actions today can bring you closer to your truest self. What decisions can you make now to live with purpose? Remember, it's not enough to merely exist. Stoicism teaches us to live on purpose, guided by reason and virtue. Every opportunity to act with intention is a chance to shape your life according to your highest ideals. Take a moment today to reflect. What is your purpose? How can you begin to align your life with it, one decision at a time? Number 3, accepting the impermanence of life. Have you ever experienced the pain of losing something or someone important to you, whether a pet, a job, or a relationship? It's tough, right? The sadness, the fear of change, and the anxiety that things are slipping away can weigh on us deeply. But what if I told you, Stoicism offers a way to face this pain, not just by easing it, but by helping us live richer lives. The Stoics teach us to accept life's impermanence, and by doing so we can transform how we experience loss. Instead of clinging to things that are temporary, our possessions, relationships, or even our own bodies, we're encouraged to focus on what's eternal, our character, virtues, and inner peace. Think about it for a second. Why do we spend so much of our energy holding on to things we know will eventually change or fade away? It might sound harsh, but this is the essence of modern Stoicism. When we accept that nothing lasts forever, we free ourselves from the fear of loss. The Stoics believe that the fear of losing what we love often stops us from truly living. When we embrace life's transience, we stop letting fear rule us. Instead of fighting change, we can meet it with gratitude. If a pet passes away or a job ends, rather than letting grief or anger consume us, what if we took a moment to appreciate the joy these things brought into our lives? What if we focused on the lessons learned and the growth we experienced? As Marcus Aurelius said, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." This mindset shifts our focus from the pain of loss to the wisdom of acceptance. This isn't about becoming indifferent or detached. On the contrary, accepting impermanence allows us to live more fully in the present. We start to appreciate each moment as it is, free from the worry that it might slip away. Stoic practice encourages us to be mindful, present, and grateful for the people and experiences that enrich our lives. It's not about avoiding life's inevitable ebb and flow, but about finding peace within it. The fear of losing things fades when we focus on what can't be taken away, our internal growth and character. Consider how many times you've held on to something, whether it's a possession, a relationship, or a status, only to be devastated when it was gone. How much energy have you spent trying to keep things that were always meant to change? What if, instead of resisting change, you looked at it with acceptance and peace? What if you viewed loss not as something to fear, but as a natural part of life's journey, something that shapes who we are? The Stoic path doesn't promise that loss won't hurt, but it offers us a way to face it with grace. It helps us see that even in loss, there's space for growth. It's not about avoiding pain, but about accepting it with a calm heart, understanding that nothing in life is permanent. In fact, this very impermanence can be liberating. With this mindset, we can face life's challenges without the burden of fearing the loss of what we love. So I ask you, how would your life change if you embraced the impermanence of everything around you? What if, instead of clinging to things beyond your control, you focused on building your character, strengthening your virtues, and nurturing your inner peace? What would it look like to live more fully in the present, free from anxiety over what might be lost? Remember, life's impermanence isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace and use as a catalyst for growth. Through Stoicism, we can shift our perspective on loss, becoming more resilient and at peace with life's constant changes. So what will you focus on today? The things you can't hold on to, or the timeless strength within you that can never be taken away? If you've made it this far in the video, I encourage you to comment "inner strength" below. This is a great way to show that you're embracing the deeper lessons of Stoicism, especially when it comes to accepting the impermanence of life. Take a moment to reflect on what you're going through and how you can focus on building your inner strength, rather than fearing loss. Number 4. The importance of community and relationships. In Stoic philosophy, self-reliance is highly valued, but the importance of community and relationships is equally emphasized. As social beings, our well-being is deeply connected to the relationships we cultivate. The Stoics recognize that while personal strength and resilience are key, we should not overlook the power of meaningful connections. To build these relationships, Stoicism encourages wisdom and emotional discipline. The Stoic secret here is mastering our own actions and responses, not trying to control others. As Epictetus wisely said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This reminds us that while we can't control how others behave, we always have the power to control our reactions. In modern life, this teaching is especially relevant when navigating complex relationships, whether with difficult colleagues, family members, or even in social situations. Stoicism offers a way to turn these challenges into opportunities for growth. Instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally, Stoicism advises us to pause, reflect, and respond with calmness. For instance, in a heated conversation with a loved one, rather than raising your voice or retreating into silence, you could choose to listen patiently and respond thoughtfully. By doing this, you create an environment of mutual respect, which strengthens relationships. Focusing on your own behavior helps you maintain your peace of mind while fostering healthier, more rewarding connections. The Stoics remind us that conflict is inevitable, but it is our response that matters most. It's easy to fall into the trap of anger or resentment when disagreements arise. However, the Stoic approach encourages us to step back, maintain composure, and act with calmness. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but recognizing that emotions are fleeting and that we have the ability to rise above them. As Marcus Aurelius said, "How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor does or to check on what he is doing, but to go on doing his own work." The Stoic secret here is clear. By focusing on our own actions, we reduce the impact of others' behavior on us. This helps build relationships based on mutual respect, where both parties can express themselves freely, without fear of judgment. What's truly transformative about Stoic wisdom is its ability to shape how we experience the world beyond personal relationships. In a world full of distractions and emotional triggers, practicing emotional control has a profound impact. Every time we choose to respond thoughtfully, we build emotional resilience. Stoicism doesn't advocate isolation or avoiding conflict. Rather, it encourages us to face challenges with clarity and dignity. By adopting this mindset, we begin to notice that our relationships become more genuine, our communication more authentic, and our connections deeper. The Stoic secret in relationships isn't about changing others, but changing ourselves first. In doing so, we create a more harmonious world around us. The Stoic teachings remind us that relationships are about mutual growth, not controlling outcomes. By focusing on our responses, we foster relationships rooted in respect and understanding, which ultimately enhances our well-being. This isn't always easy, especially when emotions run high, but with practice it becomes a powerful tool for nurturing meaningful connections. Stoic teachings help us navigate life's challenges and build a foundation of peace and wisdom that strengthens the communities we are part of. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult relationship dynamic, remember, the real power lies within you. By focusing on your actions and reactions, you can influence the course of the relationship and shape your world in alignment with Stoic principles. Number 5. The quest for wisdom in all things. For the Stoics, wisdom is the highest virtue and the foundation of all others. It goes beyond intellectual knowledge, involving a deep understanding of the world's true nature, recognizing the limits of what we can know, and making decisions guided by reason rather than emotion. In a world where emotions often cloud our judgment, wisdom helps us see life more clearly, making it easier to align our choices with our core values. The pursuit of wisdom is a continuous journey of self-reflection, learning, and growth. It requires us to stay aware of both the world around us and our internal state, understanding how they interact, and using that insight to guide our actions. Modern Stoicism encourages us to always seek opportunities to learn, whether through reading, engaging in meaningful conversations, or reflecting on our actions and mistakes. Each experience provides a chance to refine our understanding and find greater purpose. In today's fast-paced world, we're bombarded with information, but the Stoic path offers a crucial reminder. Wisdom isn't about collecting facts. It's about cultivating clarity and insight. For instance, you might ask yourself, how do my actions align with my values? Or, when I make a mistake, what can I learn from it? These questions may seem simple, but they are powerful drivers of wisdom. A Stoic often takes time to reflect daily on how their actions align with their principles. This reflection allows wisdom to deepen over time as we learn from every experience, whether positive or negative. Each situation becomes an opportunity to grow wiser. Wisdom, according to the Stoics, isn't something confined to books or lofty ideals. It's woven into the way we choose to live. Stoics didn't expect us to passively wait for wisdom to come. Instead, they encouraged us to actively seek it through self-awareness and thoughtful action. As Seneca wisely put it, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." In modern Stoicism, this means making the most of the present, using every interaction and challenge as a chance to grow. It's about living with purpose, not just letting life pass by. The Stoic idea of wisdom is also about understanding what is within our control and what isn't. We often face challenges when we try to control things beyond our reach. A wise person recognizes this and focuses on mastering their own responses. This doesn't mean withdrawing from life. Rather, it's about staying grounded in the face of life's uncertainties. Stoic wisdom lies in navigating both joy and sorrow with calm, not letting either lead us astray. This requires constant self-examination and a commitment to growth. In our modern distraction-filled world, the Stoic pursuit of wisdom offers clarity and purpose. The key is to pause and reflect. What truly matters? How can I live according to my values despite the noise around me? Stoicism teaches us that wisdom is about seeing the bigger picture of life, taking time to learn and grow in every moment. It's not just about what we know, but how we act on that knowledge. The pursuit of wisdom is an ongoing process that requires patience, effort, and humility. As we seek wisdom, we're not only deepening our understanding of the world, but also enhancing our ability to live with integrity and purpose. This journey connects us to something larger than ourselves, grounding us in meaning and clarity that transcends life's everyday challenges. Through this pursuit, wisdom becomes the guiding force in all our decisions, shaping our entire approach to life. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So by committing to this continual search for wisdom, we cultivate a life of reason, integrity, and resilience, a life rooted in the principles of modern Stoicism. In conclusion, modern Stoicism offers a profound way to transform our inner lives and navigate life's challenges. Starting with silence, we clear our minds, build emotional control, and embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth. The Stoic secrets of virtue, self-discipline, and resilience guide us to make better decisions and live in harmony with our values. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we can't, leading to a life of purpose and peace. If this resonates with you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos on living a life of true freedom and fulfillment.